I kind of did everything that they told me to in college, and so I just figured I'd be able to find a job right away. So, I really hope you can see me, because I still can't tell because my camera's still broken. Want to know something else that's super fun? My other camera broke. Well, the body of the camera is fine, but the lens broke. It somehow got bent. Not sure if you can tell. It's like a little bit this way. But now it doesn't turn at all. It doesn't zoom or focus, and I'm really annoyed. The Vlogmas curse is definitely real. Anyway, moving on. So I just finished editing and uploading my other video from yesterday, and I felt super accomplished, and then I realized I haven't filmed anything today. So I'm just gonna sit down and do a little chatty video. I want to talk a little bit about life after college and what they don't tell you. I've wanted to talk about this for a while, but I've just kind of put it off. Not because I didn't want to do it, but just because I was busy doing other things. But this is the perfect opportunity to sit down and talk to you. So this is just my story and my experience after graduation. Obviously not everybody's is the same, but I have a feeling some people are going to be in the same shoes that I was. So I feel like it's a good thing that I'm sharing this, and hopefully it can help somebody. So to start off kind of with my story, I graduated, technically, got my diploma in May of this year. But I was done with all my classes last December. So coming up on a year now, I've been out of university, out of college. And right when I got out, I was certain that I was going to find a job within 2 or 3 months. I was wrong. I just kind of chalked it up to not having my actual degree yet. So I worked at a grocery store for 5 months until graduation. While I was working there, I was spending a lot of my time, I won't say all of my time, but most of it applying for other positions, you know, a big girl job as I called it. And it was really hard. I applied to over 100 places in that time span, and I only had a few people get back to me. I think I only had 1 interview set up, and it ended up being like a scam, so I was feeling not the best. So then when I graduated, I quit the grocery store job and I moved back home, and I was essentially unemployed. I did some babysitting, some odd jobs, cleaned the houses for people, but I didn't really have a job. And I thought maybe in this area I would have a better chance of finding something. Thought maybe the job market was better. So I did get a lot more interviews, but still nothing. The thing that bothered me the most is when I would go in for interviews and it would seem like it went really well, and then I would hear nothing back from the interviewer. Like, I would send them thank you notes, emails, and I would just hear nothing. So that was a little depressing. I think this sounds like really extreme, but it's true. I think I was a little bit depressed, and it's just because I didn't feel like I was good enough. I kind of did everything that they told me to in college, and so I just figured I'd be able to find a job right away. You know, I worked all through college, so I did have work experience. I had an internship, so I had real work experience. And I graduated with high honors, so I thought that, you know, I had a lot going for me on my resume. But going so long without anybody showing interest in you, really, it makes you feel like you're not good enough. And no matter how many people told me that I was, you know, it had to come from within, and I didn't feel like I was good enough. So I think what really started wearing on me was, well, I think it was 2 different things. The first thing was that I was comparing myself to people around me when I shouldn't have been. So all of my friends, super smart, super successful, they found jobs right out of college. And so I was just kind of to them and thinking, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I find one? And it's never good to compare yourself to anyone. And I know that, but I did it anyway. The second thing was, I had people just on me all the time, and I know they were just curious or they had my best interest in heart, but when people are asking you every single day, like, oh, how's the job search going? Oh, nothing yet? Oh, that's sad. Like, yeah, I know it's sad. And I got to a point where I just, like, I didn't want to go hang out with my family or my friends because I didn't want them to keep asking me how the job search was going because it wasn't going well. Anyway, moving back to my story. So, I moved back home in May, and then I did odd jobs and stuff, and then I went back to one of my old jobs at the donut shop in July, I think? In July. And I was working there, still applying. Just like all I did in my free time was apply. And I almost felt lazy. Like, I knew I wasn't lazy. I was working and applying to jobs, but I felt like I have nothing to show for it, so I must be lazy. I must not be working hard enough. And that's also not a good mindset to have, because it's not true. You know, like, sometimes it takes a while. Then in September, either August or September, I went through a temp agency, and I had been avoiding temp agencies because I was just like, I don't want temp work. I want something that's going to be full-time and that I'm not going to have to leave and start looking for another job right away afterwards. That's not how all temp agencies work, and I didn't know that. So a lot of temp agencies can help you find full-time work in a long-term position. So I went on a few interviews through there. Honestly, at this point, I was going to 2 or 3 interviews a week, and it was draining. Anyway, I eventually got a call back, and it was one of the interviews I went on through the temp agency, and they wanted me to work for them, like, really badly. And it was so weird for me because at the same time, I had another company that was interested in me that I had found myself, not through the temp agency. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm gonna have to make a decision? This is so strange. I haven't had anybody interested in me in 10 months. So I ended up taking the job. And now I'm really happy. I love this job, and I don't like that I had to wait so long to find it. But I am glad that this is the job that I have, because I feel like it's perfect for me. And I feel like all the hard work did finally pay off. I guess some advice I would have for people who are just graduating or just getting out of college is to slow down and not be so hard on yourself, because it's going to be really difficult and you're going to have to put in a lot of hard work. But just because you aren't seeing results doesn't mean you're not trying hard. Does that make sense? It's really easy to get in a bad place when things don't go your way, month after month after month. But just know that you're not alone, because I did the same thing. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say about this topic. I probably missed a lot, actually, but that's just kind of my story. If you have any questions, put them down below and I will respond. Sorry, I'm still really mad about this lens. Ugh! Okay. I'm gonna turn the camera off now before I waste more space on my memory card. Bye!